So hello everyone, it's your girl GLB87 here, aka Grace, and today we're going to get into the Ninhydrin palette from Adept Cosmetics. So this palette retails for $68. They currently have a pre-order that ships in September to mid-November. You got to sign up for a notification though, because I think they're going to have that go up when they have the new coating palette go up. I know Karen just put up her video for it. I think it was today, and I believe that one is $68 as well. But let's check since we all be here, since you know they didn't look. That one, it doesn't have a price, but I'm pretty sure it said $65. I took a screenshot of the information, so let me just look. I got all these eye looks in my phone that I'm gonna try to recreate, but you know, we know I'm gonna do a terrible job, but I'm gonna try all the same. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $61 according to this post I just looked at that I had in my phone. But let's take her out the box and see what she looks like. I know my girl Dr. Ash, her makeup got hers earlier this week, so it's like she always gets her stuff a couple of days sooner than I do, so it's like I don't know if she orders a little bit earlier than I do and that's why or what. Okay, this thing is tight, this box. I hate when stuff is like this because then it's like you have to rip the box in order to get it out. No, I don't do all that, but you know, we do what we have to. This packaging definitely gives me Natasha Denona vibe, like the Lila palette. I'm not going to break it out, do it that deep, but this is what it looks like here. And let's open up and see what she looks like on the inside. So this is what she looks like on the inside. So my only concern with this palette is like as far as mattes go, I feel like I don't have too many to choose from. There's like 2 mattes in here that I can use, and they're, to me personally, not deep enough for people my skin tone, but that's just my opinion. So we gonna use the Safari palette with it because at least it has some of these darker mattes in it and some of these darker purplish mattes I can use, or the blues and grays if I feel like. So what I want to do is 2 different eye looks, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm pushing it because it's like 4 o'clock now pretty much, and I gotta leave 5, so I might just do one today and then film one tomorrow after I do the Color Pop Barbie collection video. So I think that's how we're gonna get down here. But today we're gonna get into one look. So I'm gonna go off camera, you know, like try to get my life in order and figure out what we're gonna do with this. But this grungy wonderfulness here, y'all know I gotta do something. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so this is what I returned with. I tried to do a halo eye instead of doing my normal eyeshadow method. So this is what you got. I took the navy blue in the Safari palette and this purple S shade down here and use those. For the next eye looks after that, I'm going to try to incorporate the mattes in here, but it's hard because like I said, I don't feel like they're brown girl friendly. But I did take a few shimmers out of here. So we use this shimmer, Ninhydrin, of course, since that's the name of the palette, and then this shimmer up here. So we go ahead and get started because I'm trying to catch a little nap before I drive to work. So let me start. Every time I think about this palette, I just laugh on my mind because I'm like, I know like Mel Thompson is just like sitting somewhere saying how horrible this palette is because she hates this palette. Y'all were not aware. Mel Thompson actually returned it. We talked about how horrible it was because she tried to do a monochromatic look with like the top row, which, you know, is something nice and something I would have tried to do if all the shades worked for me. Of course, all the shades in top of this palette don't work for me, so I wouldn't have been able to do that look anyway. But she said she did it and she hated it so much that she returned it to the store. So like when she ranks on her top, she on the palette, like she has to show a picture of this one because she says it's so horrible. I'm like, Mel, come on. I don't think it's that bad, but you know, Mel Thompson thinks this palette is that bad, which I find hilarious because this is like actually one of my favorite palettes to use from Natasha Denona. But again, since I didn't do a monochromatic look with it like she did, that might be why I don't have the issues with it that she had with her. And I think she likes the Lila palette, and see, I can't stand the Lila palette, but I can't stand the Lila palette because of the shimmers that they chose. I feel like the shimmers in that palette are just not that great. So when I see this one, that's what it makes me think of, like the shimmers in the Lila palette and how horrible they are. So I'm like, ooh, do I really want to buy this? And I couldn't remember how the shimmers were in this because I do have single shimmers from this brand, but it's been so long since I used them. I'm one of those people, like, you know, a lot of YouTubers don't really use their singles that much. So anyway, we're going to go into this shade right now, and that's what I dusted on top to give a more dramatic effect. I usually would go lighter, y'all know, but I just decided we're going to switch it up today and use a deeper shade of the job. So that's what I did. Hopefully it looks okay because I got to go to work with it on. Because I'm going to film the other 2 tomorrow after I do what do you call it, palette? The Barbie palette from Colourpop. I'm gonna do 2 more looks with this Ninhydrin, and then y'all will get this video sometime next week. When next week, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like Wednesday or something, because Monday I'm gonna have to actually edit it. Because I usually wait till I go home Monday afternoon, like edit everything. Because when I get off Sunday night and it's Monday morning, obviously I don't want to have to come home and edit stuff. So I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. And take the glitter glue. I'm trying to decide when to take pictures of this look or not. Just because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the way it looks. Maybe when I get outside and different lighting, I'll like it a little bit better. But right now, I'm just kind of like, do we want to take a picture of this look? I don't know. Because this is going to be my picture for today on Instagram. In addition to giving y'all the dupe alert that I gave you. That I have to, like, film an update on before I leave for work at 5 o'clock. So I'm just kind of like, hope I didn't make that too wide. That's another thing I hate about doing halo eyes too, because I'm like, if they're not even, then I just feel like I look crazy. So we're done with the Safari palette. Let's go ahead and get into the star of the show, the Ninhydrin palette. So what I did was I took the shade, this one, and then I topped it with this one, because this is like a beautiful topper. So that's what it's done. This swatch on my hand right here, that's those 2 shades combined. Hopefully it'll focus. That's those 2 shades combined. And then I just took this shade right here, and this is what we put in the inner corner with Ninhydrin topped on top of it, because of course, like I said, since Ninhydrin is the star of the show, I had to put it on. So we start off with this one and blend it into the glitter glue. And this is a rougher number 2. I feel like it would be good to pick up these sparkly shimmers and put on my glitter, because I didn't want to use a synthetic brush. I just felt like it might not work as well, because otherwise I'd just use, well, like I said, a synthetic brush. I like natural hair brushes, but there are some good like synthetic hair brushes. Like I hear the Esom ones are really good. I'm thinking about trying those eventually. It's just they high, so I'd have to wait till like there's a sale on the website of 20% off or something, like, because that's how I ended up with my BK Beauty brushes. I'm like, I just can't spend that certain type of money on brushes. I just be like, no, I can't do it. I'm too cheap for it. I cannot. Okay, so now what I did was I went back and forth between the palettes now, because you know you got to cover up the line from where you put the shimmer on and make sure that the matte is blended. So we're going to go back into Natasha's palette and make sure we blend the matte over the line where I had to put the glitter glue for the shimmer. Okay, ladies, tell me if this ever happens to you, like when you don't want to be bothered, you're not trying to find a dude, not feeling like you missing being single. I mean, you fine with being single and don't want to be bothered. Like, every dude in the world can find you. But then when you feel like you actually want to have somebody, it's like, there's no dude around, like, nowhere to be found. And it's like, right now, I'm fine with, like, being single and just kind of focusing on, like, my second job and doing stuff with Adrian and all that. And it's like 2 or 3 dudes trying to talk to me. And it's like, when I'm, like, single and, like, when maybe I'd like to date somebody, no one is anywhere to be found. Like, I want to know, am I the only person that happens to? Or, like, you know, other people have this, you know, struggle bus situation. Because, girl, I'm over here like, dude, please leave me alone. Sir, over there, sir, go away. Just leave, please. Exit the stage left. So now I'm going to take that shade in the corner, this one right here. I told you I put this one on, and then we put Ninhydrin here on top. So that's what I do now. I'm trying to decide if we should put something on the lower lash line, since I know I'm not going to do more eye looks today. I'm trying to figure out what exactly to put on the lower lash line. So I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to take Ninhydrin and put it in my inner corner right here. I feel like this side looks a little more blotchier than this side, but hopefully it doesn't show up in the picture. Because if y'all haven't noticed, after a while, I still go up too high on one side versus the other side sometimes. So I'm just hoping it's not will be noticeable. I mean, probably it's now start saying it, but hopefully it wasn't before. Anyway, this is the finished eye look, y'all. So I'm gonna go take some look at me. I think I'm sexy pictures, and then we're gonna get this look number 2. Now, for look number 2, I'm thinking about doing like the golds and the greens. Interestingly enough, this pink right here, this isn't a pink. Like when you swatch it, it's like a greenish gold shade. It's this shade right here, so it's more like a greenish gold, if you will, which I was kind of surprised about, because I was expecting it to be, you know, matter of fact, let me swatch it. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not pink at all. What is that? Yeah, see? I swatched it, and these 2 shades are exactly the same, because that's the same shade, but I'm like, okay, so I kind of want to do something to do the more neutral situation, if you will. So we can use like this green on the lid. If you're not, try to use like this matte along with like a deeper one for the outer V, of course. And then maybe use like this on the lid and then put that greenish looking shade in the inner corner. I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for the next look. And then the last look, we'll use Ninhydrin and the other pinkiest shades, and then we'll talk about our thoughts. I'm trying to debate if I should just keep using the Safari palette just because it has those good darker outer V shades, or if we should dip into the Color Rain Vivid Shimmers and Pigments. I mean, Vivid Shadows and Pigments palette. So, I don't know. But the point is, I'm going to go off camera and give y'all a more neutral look, and then we'll come back and wrap it up with the pinks, okay? Okay, y'all. So, this is the second eye look. I told y'all keep it nice and simple. So y'all know I just gave y'all a classic goldish type smoky eye situation. So we didn't use too many shades in here. I did use a matte in here this time though. So I used this matte right here. I used this gold shade next to it. And then I used this shade right here. That's what's the brightness in the inner corner is. So let's go ahead and get started. I did have to use the Safari palette because again, the bad thing about this palette is the only 2 mattes in them, and they're really light, so I need darkness for my outer V. So I had to take this shade called Shed. Sorry, what is this shade? Yeah, Shed. I think that's what it says. Yeah, I think or is it Shade? I don't know. Anyway, I took this shade right here and just put it in the outer V real quick. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we will get into this palette. I know y'all, lately I just been feeling real lazy and not necessarily wanting like film. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. Like I work 7 days a week. That's what it is. It used to be more exciting and more like fun because I knew I could get up like later in the day. Like I usually get up at 12 and I'd be ready to like film or whatever because I slept most of the night. And sometimes I'd end up getting up earlier than that just because, you know, I already work Monday through Friday and I didn't really have to do too much of anything else. But now that I have to actually like go somewhere every single day of the week and work every day of the week, y'all don't understand how excited I am for Memorial Day. Because I don't have to work my second job and then I don't have to work my regular job. So I'm just like, yes. I'd be more excited if I get paid like that week, but I get paid the week before, which is fine. I had saved my money to make sure I bought my Pat McGrath blushes. There's a couple more that I want to get that I did not get. So I'm like, I'll just go ahead and get those Pat McGrath blushes when they come to Sephora. Because the way she had the bundle set up, I thought it was going to be like, well, I want 5 blushes basically, and I only got like 3 of the 5 I wanted, so I didn't get any of the pinky tone blushes I wanted, which I'm kind of upset about because, you know, it's called the Divine Rose collection. So of course I want to have the Divine Rose blush. I'm just taking that matte I showed you, I'm putting it in the crease. And the fact that I'm not going to have it for the video, I'm feeling some type of way. Hopefully it shows up at Sephora soon, and the Sephora by my grandmother's house has it, or the one that's closest between me, myself and my grandmother's house has it, and I can just go there and pick it up in time for the video. I don't know, we'll see. But if I don't, y'all know it'll show up in the future in another video, because I definitely want to try it out. Many of the colors, I just watched Kinky Sweat's video and I'm over here like, yes, like where are my blushes, my thirsty self? Yes, where are they? I'm just taking it down here and trying to clean up and airbrush around the darker shade. I mean, it's a nice tone, it's just I knew it wasn't going to be dark enough for my outer V because of my skin tone. If you're probably like a light, a fair, maybe a medium tone can get away with it as a what do you call it, outer V shade, but it's like just for my skin tone that ain't happening. It's just not. The blush I have on right now, if anybody cares, is from Stellazzi. Do they even exist anymore? Like, I don't even know. I haven't heard anybody talk about them. I haven't heard them do anything since that like Jordan Liberty like palette that they did or whatever. I'm cutting a crease with some glitter glue right now. So yeah, has anybody heard about them like since that happened? Because I'm like, I feel like I haven't heard anything, seen anything, nobody's talking about them. I mean, not that lots of people were talking about them before, but it's like, I feel like literally like no one is talking. And they had like nice blushes. I wasn't that big a fan of their eyeshadows, but you know, that Jordan Livery palette to me is a good dupe to the Huda Beauty. What was it called again? The Mercury Retrograde, but I actually don't like. I'm gonna take the shimmer shade I showed you all now, the gold one that's next to that matte shade, and start putting that all over the lid basically. I'm using this Beauty brush in 203. I really want to get some more of these. Like, I want to get doubles of all the brushes I got from them, but I didn't want to buy them like during the sale and then I not like them. So I'm like, when they have another sale, I'll get some more. But it's like, I have enough brushes in my collection, and then like backup brushes for if I have an emergency and I just need a brush. It may not be my favorite brush to use, but you know, it gets the job done. I have a few of those. Plus, I just bought those new Sigma brushes in addition to these. And then I bought new rougher brushes. So I'm like, calm your happy self down, ma'am. You do not need all these brushes. So I keep reminding myself that you don't need all these brushes just because they're pretty and you like them. Or just because they work well and you want backups for when you have to wash them. Does not mean you need to buy them. If y'all don't know, I've said it many times before, like, I'm cheap. So it's like, I don't want to pay full price for brushes. Like, I just don't. I'm sorry. So it's like, I can get them on sale on a deal, which is why I own so many rougher brushes, because they have the concept store, which makes them like 50% off, and I'm here for it. I'm going to take the same brush that we used before with the matte shade on it and dust over here. But yeah, if I can get them for cheaper, I definitely will. So now I'm going to take, believe it or not, I took that pink shade. And it's just so weird because in the pan it's pink, but then when you like put it on here, you see how it's like gold? I'm like, I don't understand at all. Why is it gold? Like, why? Because it totally disappointed me because I thought I had like a bright pink and I was all excited. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna put this bright pink, this deeper pink, and then we gonna get a matte pink from the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette. I mean, I had everything ready sitting here. Then I found out it was gold and I was like, oh, okay. But this is the finished eye look. So this is my second eye look. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go outside and take pictures of it or not. I'll probably go ahead and do so, and then I'll come back and give y'all the last look, which y'all know is going to be the bluish greenish look with these shades down here. Wait, sorry, no, the green look. So I'm just going to probably do this shade, and I'll probably tie in the gold again somehow. Maybe that'll go in the inner corner, and then I'm going to try to use this matte. The only thing is I feel like this is a more purpley plumish matte, so I don't know how well that's gonna go. I'll try to include it though. I'm thinking about doing one more look, but I think I'll just do that for Instagram because I have not used this shade right here, and I feel like that'll be interesting. But anyway, let me go off camera and I'll be right back with the last look for this video, and then we can talk. Okay, y'all, so this is the last eye look with the Ninhydrin. So what I did was I took this time I took some different mattes. So I took mattes from the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments and Shadows palette this time. So I took, what is it? I took this purple Smurf shade, and then I took the Squad shade, and that's what we got on the outer V. So let's go ahead and get started with that, and then we'll talk about my thoughts on this palette overall, because I feel like I actually haven't given too much of a thought, other than I don't like the fact I don't have any dark mattes. I don't think I've given any impressions on the shimmers, and since it's a shimmer heavy palette, we'll get into that at the end. But I've been trying to not give away my thoughts too much into the video, because I feel that's why y'all end up not like watching a lot of the whole video, because you know I done told you majority of how I feel throughout the video, and then you're like, well, we already know how you feel because you're talking about it throughout the video, so we need to watch the rest of the video. So yeah. Anyway, as usual, I took it like to the halfway point, like right up in here, right underneath the brow bone is usually where I try to stop with the outer V. I just want to get the shape of the V, of course. And I always have this tendency of getting, if you haven't noticed, my primer always ends up down there somehow. I don't know how, but it does every single time. So just politely dust some more of that underneath there, but it's not too noticeable. Okay, now I'm going to go into that shade Purple Smurf I told you about, and start blending that. This is a Times Los Angeles brush. I ended up buying their brush set. Like they had, I think they had like a St. Patrick's Day sale or Memorial Day sale or something. So I ended up with their brush set, their palette, and their highlighter. And I really liked the brush set a lot. I mean, the highlighter palette was okay. I didn't like that. We're done with this palette. Now we're gonna go into Ninhydrin, which is the star of the show, of course. And I actually ended up using this navy shade this matte shade right here finally. So that's why I ended up putting the purple in the crease, because I figured I could blend this matte shade over the purple and it wouldn't be as obvious or look too crazy, because it could somewhat blend in with the purple. And then I just stroke it back this way and then a little bit underneath here. So there we go. That's how we looking so far. Now let's cut the crease with this glitter glue and then get into these shimmers and then get into some final thoughts now that we have done like 3 looks with this palette. So we're gonna start off with the green shade at the bottom toward the end that I showed you all we were gonna use, and just pat it on with the same BK Beauty 203 brush. So I'm lightly blending it out as I blend, because it's as I pat it on, because I'm not gonna want to blend too much and then it disappears. But they seem to hold pretty well, and you add some glitter glue, it's really nice. I've seen some people spray it. I guess if you want a more wet effect, you can spray it. I'm gonna just leave it the way it is. Maybe I'll spray it in the Instagram tutorial I'll give you all, so we can have an idea of what it does when you spray it. But it's like I'm liking the way it looks now, so I don't want to spray it. So I'm gonna just leave mine alone. Leave her alone, let her live her best life. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and put this inner corner color in, which is the corner that's right next to it. So I'm putting this one in the inner corner. We just put this one on the lid, and we dusted this one over the purple that we had going on. So and I like it's a nice little unique pop of inner corner color there. And so we are done. Let me back y'all up. Back up. Back up. Oh, wet. So my thoughts on this palette. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I will say I was disappointed again by this pink shade. I think I said that earlier because it's not pink, it's gold. And y'all know I'm not really big on gold. Like, mother gives me 533 gold. So every time I see a gold, I'm just like, ugh. And then this gold is a little unique. I had it swatched on my hand earlier, but I only have the swatches of what's on my eyes now. So this is what we have in the inner corner right here. And then this is what you see all over the lid. But I definitely want to play with it a little bit more, but I definitely see myself using this a lot in the fall. I might use a little bit more now just because y'all know I just love me a grungy, colorful moment. So I'll probably end up using it more now just because it's new and I'm happy to have it and play with it. But this palette right here, yes, yes, yes. I'm here for it. It's a vibe. I like it. I definitely think you should get your hands on it. It's kind of making me think, should I get the Plain Jane palette when the Kindle, what is it? Yeah, I think it's Kindle or palette comes out next week. I don't know. I might, just because I'm really here for it. We really out here thinking we living our best life, looking sexy with this eye. And since I do have colorful matte palettes, I think I have like 2 or 3 of them. You got to remember I have the one from Viseart, the initial editorial brights, and I have the Viseart Grande Pro 3, then I have this Colored Rain one, and then I have the Safari one. So it's like, it's not like I don't have separate matte palettes where I can use this palette and make it work for me, as you just saw me do with a couple of the palettes that I just named. So it's not going to be an issue for me. If it's going to be an issue for you, I heard in the new one you could swap out like a couple of shades for some mattes. So I guess she's hearing the feedback from people like me who want a darker out of each shade. There's enough of us to where she's making that option available. So if you don't like that, go ahead and swap it out. I actually own shades from this brand already, so I'm thinking about taking out some of the shades that I won't use in here, like the golds, and replace them with some of the mattes I already own, because I have a little palette, I'm about to find it, that has shades from this brand, along with, I just put it in the palette with my from them already. So I feel like maybe I could use these tones instead, or maybe I'll just get some different singles to switch out in mine, because I want more darker outer V shades, and these still wouldn't be that great. But this is Sydney Grace, and then obviously these are the Adept ones I was talking about. So I might just get some more and see if they can come out and I can rearrange the palette to my liking, like I'm gonna do with the Circle Local palette from Natasha Denona. But yeah, anyway, I'm here for it. It's a vibe. You should get your hands on this palette. I don't know about this plain Jane one. Of course, Karen Harris says it's really nice, so maybe you should try it out. I don't know. I definitely want to get the Codeine one that Karen just did a video on. I think it was yesterday. But those are my thoughts. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all the dimes. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.